Hello students. So let us continue with the circuit analysis in the next part. Here I will let you know that I will teach you that how to solve the circuit by using mesh analysis or by using the Kirchhoff's voltage law as well as the current law. We have already studied about the junction analysis or the and we also studied about the superposition principle, and this is one of the alternative form that we are going to study. So I'm going to take a complex circuit here in which it is really difficult for us to determine that whether the resistors are connected in series or in parallel. So I'm going to take a battery of 10 volt here, and this is a 2 ohm, and big. You have to be very much careful about that to watch my steps so that it should not be a problem for you when you are going to attempt the questions. So this is 2 ohm. You may find many number of numerous method to solve this question in many books and in many lectures, but I hope this is going to be the easiest form of solution that you can follow here. So here it is given that 1 ohm and we have 6 volt here. Let's take an example. We are required to find out the current in all the resistors, but I am just want you to find out the current in 2 ohm resistor. Okay, but the method is going to teach us that to find out the current in all the resistors and in all the branches, in fact. Okay, so step 1 is to decide the loops. Step 1 is to decide loops. Decide loop. What is the meaning of loop? Loop is that part of the circuit in which the current revolves inside or it turns. Decide loops. I'm going to decide 3 loops over here, loop 1, loop 2 and loop 3. So whenever you are deciding the loop, step 2 is to follow that. Remember that take the current in each loop in the same manner. That means if I'm taking it in clockwise manner, here also you take it is in clockwise, and here also you take it in clockwise, or in anti-clockwise means uniformly. That means if I'm going to take the currents here as I1, so the sense of the currents must be in the same direction. That will be easy for you to, for computational easiness, we are going to take it as I1, I2 and I3 are taken in same sense, right? So the next step is to apply the KVL in loop 1. Okay, so what is the meaning of it? That means I1 is rotating like this one is I1, this is I1. Just very carefully look at here. So here I'm going to tell that this is going to be your I1. Okay, but if I2 rotates, I'm taking one more color of pen over here to show you that the direction of I2. So I2 is here, here, and part of I2 will also be here, right? So that means this 2 ohm, through the 2 ohm, we are assuming that I1 and I2 are there. Okay, so let's use, and similarly this one is I2, I3, I3 and I3. Okay, so that means here the 1 ohm is having two currents I2 and I3. We will decide that who is going to be greater and what are the assumptions that you need to take for the, okay. So let's write down applying KVL in loop 1. So let's apply KVL in loop 1. Okay, see, we already know that if you go from negative to positive, you used to write plus. You can also do that by that method, but I will recommend you to do one thing that is going to be super easy, because when you move negative to positive, take it as minus 10. You can, as well as you can take plus 10. So in that case, you are going to write it as minus 2 times of I1. But here actually only one sign you have to check, that negative to positive means negative and all other things are going to be positive. So that's why it is going to be super easy for you. So plus, I'm going to traverse the loop 1. So plus 2 times of I1. Okay. When I come to this register, that is 2 ohm, right? We can find that there are two currents are there, I1 and I2, right? But in which loop I am now? I am doing it for loop 1. So in that case, we have to assume I1 is greater than I2. Similarly, if I am in loop 2, I have to assume I2 is greater than I3. So similarly, we have to do it. So it is plus 2 I1, then plus 2 into I1 minus I2 is equal to 0. Okay. So here I'm going to write it as minus 10 plus 2I1 plus 2I1. I'm just leaving this task for you, that you can also take your conventional method that in many of the books that is taken, that negative to positive it is plus and minus 2I1. You can do it as well. Plus 2I1 plus 2I1 minus 2I2 is equal to 0. So this one is going to give us a result that is 4I1 minus 2I2 equal to 10, right? This is our equation 1 that I got it from by applying KVL in loop 1. So let's apply KVL in loop 2. I'm going to apply KVL in loop 2 now. So if I apply KVL in loop 2, so I'll start my journey from here and I have to come back to this point. So here I'm going to write it as 3I2 plus 1, and I am right now I'm in loop 2. So I'm going to take I2 is going to be greater than I3. So I2 minus I3 plus 2 times of, and now again I am in loop 2. So that's why here I am going to consider I2 is more than I1. In the previous case I was in loop 1, so I was considering I1 is greater than I2. So here it is I2 minus I1. So the loop in which you are there, you have to prioritize it. So here we are going to get 3I2 plus I2 minus I3 plus 2I2 minus 2I1 equal to 0. Minus 2I1 plus 6I2 minus I3 equal to 0. So this one is my equation 2 that we got it from loop 2. That I got it from loop 2. So I'm going to loop 3 now, and I'm going to apply my KVL in loop 3. So here only in the same page I'm mentioning here, applying KVL in loop 3. So if I'm going to apply KVL in loop 3, so here I'm going to get it as same. Okay, let's start it from here itself. First is I1, 1 ohm. So it is I3. Positive to negative here, positive to negative, I have to write it as plus 6, right? Plus 6. Then we have to traverse this 1 ohm resistance, and I am in loop 3 now. So I have to prioritize the current of the loop 3, that is I3. So I can write it as plus I3 minus I2 is equal to 0, right? So here we are going to get it as 2I3 minus I2 is equal to minus 6. Why I am writing it like this? Why I am taking the number to the right hand side, I will tell you now, right? So this is my last equation. So I'm going to save this page. I'm going to clear this page and let us solve all the 3 equations. Let me write it down once again at one place and let's solve it. Now solving the equation part. So let me write down once again all the equations that I have got from the loop 1, loop 2 and loop 3. So this first equation is 4I1 minus 2I2 equal to 10. Now I'm going to teach you a method that is called as Cramer's rule, and by matrix method how to solve it. You can also solve it by the general method, that how you can solve 2 simultaneous equations, that is not an issue. But I'm also giving you an alternative method to solve it, because that is a methodical method that you should not forget it, like minus 2I1 plus 6I2 minus I3 is equal to 0. So this is my equation 2. Similarly, equation 3 is minus I2 plus 2I3 equal to minus 6. This is equation 3. Now let us solve all the 3 equations. So from equation 1, 2 and 3, I'm going to make some determinants here. Okay. So 4 minus 2 and 0. Similarly, here I'm going to write here as, from the second equation I got it as minus 2 plus 6 minus 1. You already know this, that how to solve it. While we used to do the cross product, we also use to solve this one. 0 minus 1 and yes, here I1 is not there, so I can write it as 0 minus 1, and for this it is plus 2. And what are the currents are there? It is I1, I2 and I3. is equal to, all the right hand side of it is going to be written over here 10, 0 and minus 6. Now it's our turn to solve the matrix. Now we are going to use the by Cramer's rule. This rule is called as Cramer's rule. When you will go to your engineering, somebody is going to, in the engineering, I mean you are taking up engineering as yours. Okay, by Cramer's rule, we have to find out, later I'm going to find out I2 because that was my question. You can, as well as you can find out I1 and I3 and compare the result that you used to got. Del 2 divided by del. So let's understand what is del 2 and how to find it out. When I am going to use this del 2 and total del. So just remember that how I am doing. The second column is going to be completely replaced by this part for del 2. If it is del 3, then the third one is going to be replaced by the right one. So here I'm going to write it as 4, minus 2 and 0, no change in all these values. So the column that is going to be replaced over here, I'm going to write it by using another color of pen. So it is 10, 0 and minus 6. Now minus 2, 6 and minus 1 is going to be replaced as 10, 0 and minus 6. And it is 0, minus 1 and plus 2. Right? Oh, I have to use another color pen here. So I'm going to write here as 0, minus 1, 2. Divided by the whole matrix will come here. That is 4, minus 2, 0, minus 2, 6, minus 1, 0, minus 1 and 2. And we know that how to solve it easily. Now, if I would like to solve this, so it is going to be 4. See, I have to cut like this, and this is going to be 4 into 2 into 0 is 0, minus of plus 6, minus 6, minus of plus 6. So it will be 4 times of minus 6, right? 0 minus of plus 6, that is minus 6. Similarly, the middle one needs to be negative, minus of 10. I have to cut it like this, right? Cut it like this. So multiplied with 10, and 2 into minus 2 is minus 4 minus 0. So it is going to be minus 4. It is going to be really easy actually. What I personally feel. We learned it during our engineering. So you can also use this method to find it out. Plus 12. Sorry, plus 0, because 0 is going to be taken here. So it is going to be 0 divided by, here let's solve it. It is going to be 4 multiplied with 6 into 2 is 12 minus 1 plus 2, right? Minus of minus 2 is plus 2 into 2 into minus 2 is minus 4. So I'm going to write here it as minus 4 plus 0. So finally we are going to get here like 4 into minus 6 is minus 24 plus 40 divided by 4 into 11 minus 8. So this is 40 minus 24 is coming out to be 16, right? So 40 minus 24, I'm going to give you a calculation here. Like 40 minus 24 is 16 here, divided by 44 minus 8. 44 minus 8 is 36. This is 36. So 16 by 36 ampere. 16 divided by 36 ampere is coming as 0.044 ampere. See what a big circuit is going to be solved in a 2 lines, right? So the answer to our question is 0.044 ampere. Clear? So this is the current that is flowing through it. So we, by this method, we found out the current of I2, right? So similarly, sorry, this is I2. Similarly, you calculate for I3 and see that how much current is totally flowing through it, right? So this is I2 only. I'm only calculating the value of I2. This is not the total current that is passing through 2 ohm. I just calculated the value of I2. We can calculate the value of I1 and I3. Okay. So thank you so much.